So how's it hanging, folks, and welcome back to Game Boy Movie Fanatic 0129 channel. I am your host, Jared Graham, and today, finally, I am going to be talking about WandaVison, episode 4 through 7, to be exact. Don't worry, episode 8 and 9 is coming, and so is, a full season wrap-up as well. So, just checking, make sure my mic is on. So let's start with episode 4, which is the episode where we see the snap being undone, basically. If you see Infinity War, you've seen people got snapped out of this, and then in Endgame, they got brought back. So we basically see them being brought back. And when you think about it, it is very dark, because say if somebody was in an airplane 5 years prior, 5 years earlier, they come back, they no longer in the plane, and they falling, basically to they death. And then there's another scenario where somebody could be crossing the road when they got snapped out of existence, come back, basically in front of a truck. Yeah, it's really dark, really dark. And of course we are introduced to Monica Rambeau, Maria Rambeau, daughter, of course, the little girl from Captain Marvel. We introduced to her, and she's all grown up now. And we found that her mom died 3 years prior to the snap. When basically the nurse tells her that's when she disappeared. So yeah, we then cut to her going to the SWORD headquarters, where we are met with Tyler Hayward, the new director of SWORD, who basically said he was the only choice, who then sent Monica Rambeau to New Jersey to rescue, where she meets Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man and the Wasp, and investigate the screens that happen in Westview. Of course, Westview is where Wanda is at, and Wanda had created something called a hex, where she basically has engulfed the whole town and the entire residents in this thing. It looked like a normal town outside, but on the inside, well, it's basically a sitcom. So basically, we introduced to the cops, who basically are from Eastview, meaning Westview doesn't exist, which leads Monica to basically seeing a drone with Venice, and then Monica Rambeau does something pretty dumb. If you see any horror movie, you know it's dumb. She walk up, sticks her hand in the hex, gets sucked in. That's it. Cut to Darcy Lewis. Yeah. The character that people hate the most from the Thor movies. Yes, he's back. I mean, she's not too bad. I know the jokes with her are hit and miss. And of course, she had the quippy one-liner, which I was like, ugh. Yeah, I know somebody who don't like this character. I know they gritting their teeth right now, but she's not too bad. Yeah, basically they bring her in to pretty much investigate the hex. Well, the hex is what she called it. Beforehand, it was this anomaly, so she called it the hex. And they basically was investigating, and this is where she finds an old TV. Then she hooked in to a device where basically she was able to connect with what is going on the inside, and basically it's a sitcom. It's like it's going from the 50s to the 60s. By the time Darcy finds Monica again, it's the 70s, and one is having the twins. They don't explain it, and I think it's a good thing that they do not explain it. So yeah, so they're having twins. She's having the twins. Monica is there. Well, she's not really Monica in the context of the TV show. She's Geraldine, her next door neighbor, and she basically delivered her children. And of course, you have SWORD on the outside, basically deciding their next course of action, and oh yeah, now I remember. It's a part where Monica made the mistake of mentioning her brother, who was killed by Ultron, how she made that mistake, but slipped out. Next thing you know, Wanda giving her the mirror look, basically shoots her out the hex, and she pretty much like, well, it's all Wanda doing. But let's flashback, shall we? We see Vision talking to his next door neighbor, Herb and Agnes. I'm jumping a little too far ahead. Yeah, Herb and Agnes, and basically Agnes and Herb are being suspicious, and it's talking about how Geraldine just pretty much show up out of nowhere, which kind of make it obvious that Agnes knows a lot more than she letting on. So yeah, basically making Vision suspicious, and then this is when that instant with Wanda and Geraldine happened. And Wanda basically shoots her out the heads. Visions come back. Where the Vision we meet in the first 2 episodes, where the first 3 episodes, it's no longer there. It's the Vision. The Vision that got killed by Thanos in Infinity War. That's him. And then basically in the episode where Vision is aware that maybe I'm not alive. Yeah, he's aware of that in the episode. Let's jump to episode 5, which is now the A's, of course, with the freaking Full House, the Full House montage, of course. I need to stop saying of course. Yeah, it's a Full House montage where basically Elizabeth Olsen is pretty much kind of making fun of her sisters. Because Mary Kay and Ashley Olsen came to fame on Full House. That intro really feel a lot like Full House. The less we say about the creepy baby photos of Vision, the better. We not gonna say nothing about that. That's this weird. Of course. I'm so sorry, y'all. I know y'all like, how many times did he gonna say of course? This is the last time, I promise you. We cut to the twins and they're bassinet. They restless, unsurprisingly, and well, Wanda and Vision kind of at the end, they rope with this whole situation, and then Agnes show up. Like, really, this is not, no offense, I know not a lot of people was on to her, but this kind of the episode where I was kind of starting to get a little suspicious of Agnes, where I'm like, oh, you showing up way too conveniently. And not only that, but she kind of is a little too hip to what's going on. She knows it's a sitcom happening. Everybody else is unaware of it. She knows there's a sitcom happening. And Vision is suspicious of it. Wanda is acting like it's normal. Oh, no, it's not. And then the twins go from being infants to toddlers. Yeah. I think I still kind of clue y'all in that they not completely human, but yeah, they toddlers now. And Agnes saw the whole thing happening. And I'm like, oh jeez. And we cut to introduction of Sparky, the dog. They found a stray dog. They were trying to hide him. Wanda finds him, and basically, Wanda and Vision basically tell them you have to be 10 in order to take care of a dog. And lo and behold, what do the twins do? Well, they age from being toddlers to being 10, and you like, well, jeez. Oh boy, yep. And pretty much the hijinks ensue. We see Vision at work, and we see Vision at work, and then he get the short message from the other side of the hex, in which he basically wakes up Norm, and Norm pretty much tell him that he need to contact his family. He don't know what's going on. She's inside his head. Of course, Vision thinks it's Wanda, but I think if you see enough TV, you would be suspicious that you got that a little too easy of an answer. So yeah, we then jump to the twins looking for Sparky. They lost Sparky. They're looking for Sparky in the neighborhood, and who finds Sparky? Agnes. And surprise, surprise, the dog is dead. Hmm. Right. So the dog is dead now, and Agnes found it. They so happened to find it in her yard. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That don't make you suspicious of that character. Then I don't know what. Well, pretty much ends post Sparky. I mean, the dog was just in one episode. I mean, John Wick would not be happy. Then led to the argument between Wanda and Vision, where Vision basically accused Wanda of controlling all these people. Of course, Wanda is like, you really think I'm in full control of all this? Which then leads to the big surprise at the end. And it's Quicksilver. Not the MCU Quicksilver, but Quicksilver from Days of Future Past. That Quicksilver. He just shows up. That's it. Darcy like, why would she recast Pietro? I'm certain at this point, Darcy, this is beyond her control right now. So, yeah. He shows up in the episodes, and that's pretty much it. We get episode 6, the Halloween episode. We are now in the 90s. And let's just say, how would I describe this episode? Comic book accurate. It's comic book accurate because Wanda and Vision are wearing their comic book accurate costumes as Halloween costumes. So is Quicksilver. Of course, Quicksilver is now living with them. Oh, that's the complicated matters. We see the twins basically trying on their Halloween costume. We then snap back to, what's happening outside of the huts, where Monica is basically getting checkup on to make sure everything is all right. Of course, it's not all right because Darcy basically tells her that, you go inside that head, kind of change your genetic makeup, and you kind of want to change it how. So yeah, and then we of course get to know Tyler Hayward. What's such a nice fella. Yeah, this guy really is terrible. If you one of those persons who didn't like Thunderbolt Ross in Civil War, oh, you're not gonna like this dude. No. He talking about, it was rough for the 5 years. Yeah, the 5 years where y'all seem to not have been doing nothing. I mean, the Avengers was the only one come up with the idea of bringing everybody back while y'all was thinking of doing something else. Because I have no idea what y'all were doing. Right, y'all probably doing nothing. So, hell yeah. Monica, Darcy, and Jimmy basically come up with a plan where Monica goes back into the huts, find Wanda, and make her aware that Sword want Vision back. They basically was turning Vision into a weapon, Sword. It's like, Shield made the same mistake, right? And why it was so easy for Hydra to take over. His Sword making the same mistake. It's like, why would you purposely turn Vision into a weapon? Wow, give Tony Stark a hard time and make an Ultron, but y'all trying to make another Ultron. So, yeah, back to the day plan. Monica, Jimmy, and Darcy, they go to the lab where they inspect the clothes that Monica was wearing during her time in the Hex. And she basically was wearing a bulletproof vest, which means it basically incorporated itself within the fabric of the clothes she's wearing. Yep. Yep. Well, now let's jump back to the Hex, where it's Wanda walking around the neighborhood with her brother and the twins. And Pietro is being mischievous. He's wreaking havoc. He's just doing all this crap and stuff. It's just like, wow. Meanwhile, Vision being his being all her crew Perot decide he gonna do some investigating on the other side of town, where unsurprisingly people are frozen in place. They glitching out. This is a strange thing happening. And oh yeah, who do he find? Agnes. Oh joy, it's this freaking character. Don't worry, in episode 7, you gonna know why I'm so suspicious of her. Yeah. But yeah, Vision find her. He wakes her up, and then she basically tell him that, oh, Wanda got trapped. Which leads Vision to basically go through the barrier of the heads. Of course, keep this in mind. Vision is dead. He enter out the other side. He probably gonna deteriorate, which is what happened. Darcy got stopped it. A sword agent headcupper, of course. The sword is being really untrustworthy as of late. The twins, I mean, ooh, I know why I said that. The twins basically sense their dad's death is occurring. So Wanda basically decided to extend the hits. Not for Pietro decided he was gonna be like, he can't die twice. Really, dude? You really want to say that? I mean, beforehand, there was one time she saw you, and you was a corpse. Like, you were real with bullets. You were a dead body, homie. And you really gonna say something stupid like that. Wanda attacks him, extend the hits. This time, the sword headquarters this time she swallowed up the sword headquarters. You know, she does get Vision back. She swallowed the sword headquarters, including Darcy. And, well, that was basically the end of the episode. It's basically, way you go, sword. Like, it's really, a crappy plan that really blew up in their faces. Like, really bad. In episode 6, let's get to episode 7, shall we? And this is the episode where Monica and Jimmy had gotten away. Tyler Hayward had gotten away to this dude. Yep. Now the hex is basically full. Now the hex is has fully taken over the town, and even more than Heavenly Wood area. And this episode is basically the Modern Family episode. You know how in that show they always have a scene where they jump to the camera and the character is talking to the camera, breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, one is doing that. She clearly doing the Claire Dunphy, Yeah. After the events of episode 6, she's not having a good day, and decides she gonna rest and pass the cringe off to Agnes. Wanda, come on, Wanda. You're not. We ain't gonna get suspicious of her. Of course. Oh God, I say of course again. Forgive me, y'all. We cut to Vision. He wake up, come to, find Darcy, and she's basically Darcy and a handful of sword agents. They are now like a carnival, which is strange. So yeah. He wakes Darcy up. Darcy and him, still van, and basically decide to make their way back home. Back home to Vision's house. Because Darcy don't live in the hats. Vision does. And a lot of weird things happening. And we have Vision breaking the fourth wall. Boy. We see Vision take flight. We then cut back to outside the hats where Monica and Jimmy are basically planning to go inside the hats, and she has basically this little space rover. Like, if you ever seen Armageddon, that's how this rover look. It's basically that kind of rover. She thinks this rover is gonna basically penetrate the hats. Of course, later on it doesn't. The truck, crash. And Jimmy and the soldiers that came to her aid basically came to bring the rover. Were basically trying to stop her from going back in the hits. She go back in the hits, and lo and behold, what happened? She gained her superpowers. Yeah, she has superpowers now because she went back through the hits. She of course catch back up. I just can't help myself, can I? I'm so sorry. She tracked down Wanda. She tracked down Wanda. Wanda tried to attack her. Wanda discovers that, oh wait, this chick has superpowers now. That's not good. Freaking Agnes show up. I'm like, jeez, lady. And well, Agnes take her to her house. Wanda finally becomes suspicious. And I'm like, oh, finally, just realize something ain't right with this woman. Go down to the basement. And this is where we discover Agnes really is Agatha Harkness, the most obvious villain ever. And then they have this freaking tune. Talking about it was Agatha all along. It's like, oh my god, please don't. This is, and some people might find that be funny. For me, I was like, oh, really? Seriously? Yep, that's in the episode where there is a post-credit scene where you see Monica going into Agatha's basement, and this is where we find out that Quicksilver, not a good guy. He's not a good guy. He's a minion. He's Agatha's minion in the episode, and it's like, I'm like, oh, we just gonna leave it like that? We gonna hang it right there? We just gonna leave? It's like, okay, well, I guess I'll come back episode 8 and 9. Well, that, my friends, is episode 4, 5, 6, and 7 in a nutshell. And that is concludes this video. Don't worry, episode 8, 9, the review are definitely coming for those two. Don't worry, they are coming. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. And if you're new around here, have a nice rest of your day. Because it was Agatha all along. Jeez. Could we be more obvious? Have a nice rest of your day, y'all.